tax disputes, reconcile the numbers, and make appropriate adjustments in its records. With regard to issuance of third-party agency notices, Mr. Speaker, the committee recommends at page 32 that the accounting officer should adhere to the DTD arrears management guidelines that require tax arrears to be referred to the Debt Collection Unit, DCU, for further management. URA management should also develop and utilize electronic notice tracking to the TPAN notice tracking system guidelines to fast track the taxpayer arrears to be status to the Debt Collection Unit status DCU of tax due management. To the authority to improve tax compliance in accordance with the regulations. On validated transit bonds, we recommend at page 33 that the Commissioner General should ensure that the state controls are consistently applied to minimize the risk and the likely revenue losses. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, we believe that by improving transparency in the petroleum activities, providing an enabling regulatory framework to aid collection of revenue from mineral exports, accumulation of tax arrears by government, reduction on reliance on business community for implementing the domestic revenue mobilization, and widening all the tax base, URA will significantly eliminate discrepancies in revenue generation data, revenue reporting, and improve revenue collection for sustainable economic development. I beg to move, Mr. Speaker, that this Parliament finds pleasure in adopting our recommendation. I thank you, and I thank the colleagues for listening to me, and the colleagues in the committee for the industrious work. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair Kosase. Now, Honorable colleagues, earlier on, there is an issue, I think, I don't remember, but Honorable Seku raised the issue of the law, which a Honorable colleague had said is colonial. And I said I'm going to consult with the technical bench. And I have been informed we have the Inland Water Transport Act 2021, which provides for, among others, registration and licensing of vessels, safety of life and navigation on waters, prevention of pollution, and protection of marine environment and marine security. I think that's comprehensive enough to handle all marine-related issues. So let the Hansard team correct the record properly that the law is not colonial. Yes, Honorable Odo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I heard the Honorable Semuju very well. Just like when a road is constructed, for the safety of the drivers, then they are marked and signages are put there. So what the Honorable Semuju was saying, that ever since the colonial times, that was the last time our waterways were actually marked. So under the colonial law, that was then. Until now, that process has not taken place. Because in Lake Victoria, for example, it is possible to put navigational lights so that the captains of the ship and can then navigate through the same thing we were requesting as people from northern Uganda in that crossing at Rwenkunye. Okay. So that the ferry can move throughout the night. If you put the navigation lights across River Nile, that ferry can work 24 hours. Okay. That is the record that he put. Not that there is no law, if I heard him correctly.
No, the issue wasn't that there is no law. But I remember he also talked of the colonial law. But then if the navigation was done before we amended, when we were still using the colonial law, then Honorable Semuju would be right. Otherwise, the minister has not updated us if there is anything that has been done since this law of 2021. But no, I don't want to open up this issue, Honorable colleagues, please. I know issues of water. Honorable K, I was looking for you the other day when we had the fishing community. You would guide me well. But Honorable colleagues, please, let's go back to what we are doing. Now, I propose that we also receive item 7, since it's also URA. Okay? then we debate both of them together. I know one is on account, another one is on corporate services, but they are closely related. And we have a deadline of this week to finish all these accountability committee reports. So I would want us to move as fast as we can to handle them. Yes, Honorable Semju?
Mr. Speaker, I don't know whether that was a ruling or you were advising, because if it's a ruling, then my hands are tied.
No, I want us to go to item 7. We debate them together.
So that...
Yes. I think they are closely related, and it can help us save time. Thank you. Honorable
Item
Clark?
7. Motion for adoption of the report of the Public Accounts Committee on the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Uganda Revenue Authority Corporate Services for the financial year ended 30th June 2023.
Honorable Chair Kosase.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Permit me to adopt the minutes I have already laid on table in accordance with the rules, and also permit me, colleagues, to proceed with in the same manner of giving summaries of observations and recommendations. With regard to Uganda Revenue Authority Corporate Services, the report is as follows from the committee. Mr. Speaker, at page, I have a colleague who signed where I put the pagination, and consistently so. Mr. Speaker, with regard to the over expenditure on the part of URA, the committee does recommend that since URA's over expenditure was irregular and the accounting officer's explanation could not absolve the entity, the PSST would have been the right person to sanction the accounting officer on that person, and we recommend so. However, him being a board member of URA,
Procedure, Honorable Do.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. At the beginning of this sitting, you did, in delivering one of your rulings, you had indicated that before any document or any matter comes here, you would have perused and you are convinced, and therefore that's the reason why it comes. On the order paper, Mr. Speaker, item 7 is on the motion for adoption of a report of the Public Accounts Committee on the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Uganda Revenue Authority Corporate Services for the financial year ended 30th June 2023. That is the matter we are dealing with. I would like to ask that the report be flashed there so that you can see the point I'm addressing. It is the first time in this parliament that I hope it comes in the cover page. It's the first time in this parliament that we are talking about a draft report. It has never been presented to this parliament anything in draft, and there it is, draft report of the Public Accounts Committee on the report of the Attorney General. This report has implications, both legal, and in this form, if we go ahead with it, the recommendations can be challenged and it cannot succeed. So I kindly ask you to make a ruling, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Yes. No. Please. Yes. Thank you for being alert, Honorable Jonathan Odor. Yes, and I think as a person who perused, I didn't mind so much about this title, the heading. And that's why on the order paper we captured it properly. So, Honorable Chair, are you presenting a draft?
No. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I want to thank my brother, the Honorable Jonathan Odul. First, I concede that there is a mistake in including the word draft. But I'm sure it is chewed by signatures. There is no draft that is signed. It is not signed as a draft. I want to make a correction that it is actually the final report. The others actually can only be semantics and form. But in terms of substance, I want to confirm this is not a draft, it's the actual report. I've considered. I think, Mr. Speaker, to make it simple, we can withdraw it and resubmit appropriately. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right, Honorable Speaker. I feel we could remove the front page, since the chairperson is proving it is the right report. And then
let us not try to improvise and yes, Honorable.
You, Right Honorable Speaker, if we are to find fault in the word draft, I think Honorable Segona.
Order.
Mr. Speaker, the colleague holding the floor does not actually see faults. That's how he ended up inviting his junior as a guest of honor at his function. And he embarrassed the Deputy Prime Minister. Can you imagine a Deputy Prime Minister inviting a junior of her minister to come and deliver a speech at his function, and his junior praised him as a good worker to confirm that actually he works for the junior? Is the Right Honorable Speaker a person who doesn't see fault in order now to invite this parliament not to see fault where it has identified one? Is in order?
Now, by the way, I wasn't scared of whatever Honorable Semuju was going to say. I was only scared of how he was looking at you. Because he had a lot of pain looking at you. What's the issue?
It is very interesting. A person who did not attend a function, in fact, I didn't invite him, and is now trying to get at me. I had a private function that I invited many people, including people that I work with, but nobody that is from the Ministry of Defense was a guest of honor, for the record. And the Honorable Nakadama never invited anybody to speak. She spoke and she left, and I am the one who invited the CDF to speak.
Honorable, can you give us a full report of your party? And we put it as a substantive item on the other paper.
The full report is that bringing a private party, a function that where I was thanking God, to Parliament, that tells you how empty Honorable Semuji is getting. Is devoid of the substance.
No, Honorable colleagues, I will not allow this to be now, an exchange between our two colleagues.
If I could
Honorable, I just wanted, yes, your view.
If I could speak on the subject matter, that a draft is actually cured.
May I allow a point of order?
Okay, I can handle.
Mr. Speaker, I don't imagine a day when you will have a function and invite a staff of Parliament as a guest of honor. I don't imagine. And I pray that it does not happen. A Minister of Defense the ministry is a public office. It's not a private matter. Your conduct affects the whole country once you are. That's why you go through vetting. The person who did something empty is now saying me who is raising it, I am empty. Is he in order?
Thank you.
For doing something empty and then accusing me of being empty when I am just drawing the matter to your attention and attention of Parliament. Is he in order?
Thank you. House suspended for 5 minutes. We have a short break.